righty, everybody should be joining us. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are here at the Life Reawakened show. Happy Wednesday, December 11th. I don't know how, but it is almost the middle of December. And we are here with the lovely Lidija Atlas. Lidija, say hello so everyone can see
Hello,
you.
everyone. Welcome to this Wednesday. We're now ending the end of the year. We're in the holiday season. So, welcome, everyone, and thank you for joining us this morning.
Awesome. Love it. We are diving into, and I'm excited to see how this kind of all connects, but we're talking about quantum shift 528 today. A lot of us have heard about, 528 Hertz, and the power of that. And Lydia's taken it to a whole new level. So I'm really excited to learn from Lydia and find out what that all means. And if you haven't noticed or not, Lydia has already started the energy for all of us. So I'm feeling it. I was feeling, Lydia, as soon as we started talking, this tingling, like all back here in the side of my head. I'm like, oh, this feels really cool. So
Yeah.
that's fun.
So we are right. All of us right now are in the 528 Hertz frequency, energetic frequency grid, and we are receiving that healing.
That's
So
awesome.
for all of us that are live and those that will be listening to this recording as well, that energy will be available for them as well.
Love it.
So
Love it.
we'll just be open to it and receive it. We're going to have a good time.
Good. So, guys, as we go along through this call, let me know how you're doing with that and some fun stuff that she's going to work one-on-one with you guys on as well. So, but some of you might not know Lydia. So, for those of you that don't know her, let me introduce her to you. So, Lydia Atlas is the visionary force behind Alma Holistic Health, a renowned holistic health practitioner, author, and coach. You are DNM. What is that? Doctor of
Natural medicine.
Natural Medicine. As the leading health style change expert, she has crafted groundbreaking methods to transform lives, including the acclaimed health style change, the Atlas method, the COVID Z protocol for immunity, and the AIRCA method, and TBIH method for weight loss and happiness. Her innovative approach also includes her celebrated Timeless Radiance Pro Aging Beauty Solution. So, driven by profound commitment to empowering individuals, Lydia's mission is to guide others in the mastering their health, happiness, and personal growth through tailored holistic solutions. Her transformative methods have impacted countless students and clients worldwide, helping them break free from stagnation and achieve extraordinary success in a simple, effective, and holistic way. Lydia's philosophy is clear: be proactive, not reactive, in your journey towards health and personal development. Her expertise and dedication offer a beacon of hope and a roadmap to achieving lasting wellness and happiness. And today we're talking about discover the quantum leap in cellular healing. 528 Hertz meets advanced quantum technology. So this sounds like so much fun, Lydia, and officially welcome to the call.
Thank you for having me. I'm so happy to be with all of you here today.
Awesome. So why 528? Like what, tell me about um why and how you've kind of brought it in with the quantum healing and how that all kind of goes together.
Well, as we know, everything is energy, right? And that's just based on physics, right? So everything is energy. Now, we know there are different forms of energy, and we know that all forms of energy vibrate, including thoughts and emotions. And these impact our physical well being, how we feel, right? And also, we know that we live in an invisible world, right? For example, we experience love, but can we see it? We experience stress, but can we see it with our physical eyes? We experience fear and sadness, but do we see it with the physical eyes? No, but we feel it on our bodies. And these energies affect us on a cellular level. And as we know, our body is composed of trillions of cells, right? So every single cell is affected by this energy. And there's several, including the DNA in our nucleus and in our membrane, which is our blueprint of makes us, our recipe book of makes us how we are. And then I started noticing, why is it that on certain days I feel like just I'm completely depleted and I can't go on? Or why am I having this rough patch? Or why am I in this pain? Or why am I feeling this angst? Or why am I having this problem at work? Or why am I having these relationship issues, right? And if we go to the root of all these things, it is always an energetic issue. It is always an energetic issue, right? And then I started to look at further, I started to connect the dots. Okay, so the root is energetic. Now, what frequency, right, would help in this aspect of healing me in mind, body, spirit, and soul simultaneously, right?
Mhm.
And if we look at frequencies and we look at ancient music, the ancients have been doing this already for a long time, going all the way back to Egyptians. And then it continued further on, and then the Greeks, and then it continued further on. And then lately, in the past 20th century, you know, we had Dr. Leonard Horowitz, who actually connected the 528 frequency, and he ascertained that this is the musical matrix of creation in sound therapy. And then we had Dr. Emoto in Japan, who also said that energy carries words and they can either create or destroy through his research. So then I started looking at, okay, so 528 Hertz is called the miracle frequency, the love tone. Why? Because it can repair DNA. That means it can repair the cells in our body. And if we tap into and utilize this frequency to raise the frequency in our body, we go into self-healing mode. And we exit the fight or flight response, which many of us are living in, into healing and thriving. You see, most of us day to day are living in fight or flight, point blank. We are, because we have XYZ to do. We have to get up at this time. I have to go to work. I have to check in. I have to clock in. I have to answer all these calls. I have to serve my family. I have to serve my neighbors. I have to serve my extended family. I have all these things to do. What happens? We're the bottom of the totem pole, right? And we
Yeah.
feel depleted. And the clock hasn't even hit 10:30 in the morning and I'm already drained, right? Because energetically I'm waning. My reserves are falling. My vibrational frequency is low. It's slow and low. And 528 comes in and it raises it. It raises it very quickly. It sends that surge of energy to the nucleus of your cell in your body and it amplifies it. It's like putting batteries into your system. The minute we recharge and charge up that battery on a cellular level, guess what happens? We start feeling good. But we start feeling good not within a week. We start feeling good literally within 60 seconds.
Wow.
It's like, imagine me taking myself and plugging myself into the wall. I start charging right away. It's the same way. When I start recharging myself with these frequencies, I start immediately feeling better on all levels. This isn't only a physical thing. You know how they say that happiness is contagious? Well, energy is contagious. Feeling good about yourself is contagious. Feeling better is contagious. And you know, you come into a room and you're next to somebody who is glowing and smiling, you're going to end up glowing and smiling very quickly. But if you come next to someone who is just not feeling very well, you're going to walk away thinking, I'm not doing too good, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because energy, the increase, the decrease, we're all together. It's like in an ocean. We're in an invisible ocean of water and we're constantly mingling with one another, right? We're constantly, and we recharge or we deplete. And we also deplete our reserves by the work of everything we're doing, by our thoughts, by the mental work we have to do, by the physical activities we have to do. We're continuously depleting our reserves, but we have to know how to recharge ourselves in a way that is transformative, that is healing, and that is simple. And this is where 528 comes in, because 528 heals and repairs the DNA. And if we heal the cell, we heal the body.
Hmm. That's really cool. So you talked about self-healing, which I thought was interesting, and the fact that you have to reach a certain level of frequency to be able to self-heal. So can
Yeah.
you talk a little bit more about that and why? Because I mean, all of us here, we listen to this show. We work with a lot of healers. We go through a lot of programs, or we, read a lot of books, or like we are healers. Like there's just such
Yes.
a but we're in this space together. And I would say working on self-healing. So talk to me a little bit more, because that might be like a big reason why a lot of us feel stuck or blocked, or
Right.
moving forward, or two steps forward, 10 back, or
Right.
like those things.
So lots of us feel stuck or blocked because we're definitely underneath that threshold. We are vibrating at far below 528. At best, on average, most people are vibrating around 120, 200 at best, and that's a good person. When we reach the realms of anger, fear, desperation, sadness, we hit 20 and below. 20.
Wow.
20 and below. Now imagine you functioning on 20 and below on a regular day in, day out basis. Your DNA is actually not repairing. It's being degraded. And your cells are in a continuous state of oxidative stress. They're not healing. They're barely maintaining you. And you actually are quite toxic, not only energetically, but physiologically, because your cells are not, first, they're not recharging properly. Second of all, the movement and shape of them changes. They're not getting the proper exchange of information because they communicate amongst themselves. So everything is chaotic. Everything becomes chaotic. Chaos is created. And so when we are functioning at that level of, let's say, 120, 200, 225 at best, and we're trying to feel good, it's really hard, and it's super easy to stay stuck in that. Like imagine you having a car, and that car is kind of running on an old engine, old muffler. You didn't get your filters changed, you didn't get an oil change, your tires need to be inflated because they're below the normal 33, that they should be, on average charged up to be, and it's just kind of lacking, and you're going on the you're going on the highway and it's just going tucka tucka boom boom. The exhaust blows out some smoke in the back, and you're getting to where you need to go, you're functioning, but you're not on cruise control, you're not flying by on the highway optimally. You're getting to where you need to go, but you're struggling. You're struggling. And this is the same way with ourselves, both physically and energetically. And what happens is, many of us, we are so overwhelmed with everything we have to do day in, day out, day in, day out. And then on top of that, we have worries, we have stressors, right? We have debt, we have interpersonal relationships, we have crises, we have employment issues, we have all sorts health issues, we have mental health issues, we have so many things we're dealing on a day in, day out basis. How can we be vibrating optimally? We can't. We're like I said, we are in survival mode. We are not in thrival mode. And
Yeah.
the key is to get out of that survival mode.
Mm. So is it as easy as, because I've seen 528 hertz videos on YouTube, or Linda's asking about tuning forks. Is it as easy as using those, or is there another level that's needed to get to that point?
Well, there's another level that's needed to get to that point. First is, one thing is you doing tuning forks and you trying it on yourself. That's a That's a really good first step. However, when you've been stuck for so long, you do need someone to help assist you. Because what happens is when we're stuck for so long, our energy is so low for us to get to that level, we would require months. Okay, point blank, because we've been stagnating for so long. Not only that, we are not objective when we're working on ourselves, we become subjective. We do have blinders on, okay? And lots of things, the things that we need to work on in ourselves, we don't even realize our issues, okay? For example, I had a point blank, I can have a lady who comes to me, well, my problem is, for example, point blank, I have issues with my weight. A very common thing. I have issues with my weight, been struggling with for years. I have no energy. Okay, no energy. Here's the thing, and I am going through their transition, which means perimenopause, menopause, right?
Mhm.
I'm lagging behind energetically. And I say to her, but that's not your issue. She says, what? Of course it is. I say, no, it's not. Your issue is fear behind your finances. She's like, what? How did you know? You see, it's affecting her weight, the continuous fear, because fear is then pumping cortisol through her body and her
Right.
body and high levels of insulin and stress hormones. So she can't be putting off the weight because her body's in a continuous state of fight or flight or freeze, right? So even though she's manifesting Y and Z, X is the root cause, you see? And energetically, that fear has her by the throat. And fear is definitely below a 20.
Mhm.
Now, if we come in and we say, well, you know what? Let's get you out of this. Let's get you out of this freeze. Let's get you out of this and help you with someone from the outside who can help you in a faster amount of time with more directed, targeted energy, who's completely objective and is going to pump you up. It's kind of like coming with somebody, you know, when your battery dies at the side of the road and you call AAA
Mhm.
because you can't charge the battery yourself. It's kind of the same way in the beginning. You need someone to help charge you, and then you can maintain it yourself. Once it's been recharged, you can maintain it. But initially, people need the help because you've been at that low level for so long. And even if you think, well, I've done this, I've done that, I should be higher. No, we're still stuck because there has not been done enough healing on the cellular level and proper healing, proper healing. Tuning fork is one thing, but we need to rewire our brains. We need to renew our minds. We need to create new neural pathways in our brains. We need to take ourselves out of fight or flight and go back into thrive and healing. We need to calm down the vagus nerve. We need to tap into the pineal gland and make sure the hypothalamus is working properly. You know, so there's many things that need to happen simultaneously, and doing everything yourself, it's too hard because that would require you 30 years of study. You can't do it all on your own. You can't become a master of this. It's too difficult. You just can't. You can try, but it's much easier when somebody helps you who knows. You know, it's
Mhm.
much easier to get that help with somebody who has specialized knowledge in that, right? Because they
Yeah.
simplify it for you.
Makes sense. And so a couple things popped in my head when you were talking. One is from the comments here, stress and fear, financial struggle definitely hit a lot of
Yeah.
people, like they understand that. And so when you work at the cellular level
Yes.
through this frequency, will those kind, I mean, the example you gave, was that she was having these issues, but it was because of finances. But will it help with issues like financial,
100%.
emotional?
100%. Because what happens is, in terms of finances too, when we have fear attached to these things, it's because we feel like that they're coming from us. We have this ownership to it. But when we change our frequencies and vibrations, we realize money doesn't come from us, it comes through us. And the minute you make that shift energetically and also the renewal in your mind, it won't be an issue anymore. And these financial strains and woes, they quiet down. The chaos stops. It stops. And I'm the first to attest to this. you know.
When you get to that level, is
Yes.
that when you kind of have that realization, or do you have to have the realization first
No,
before?
you can't have the realization first because your frequency is so low. These realizations are too hard for you to fathom, right?
Right.
It
Yeah.
needs to be raised, and then all of a sudden it clicks. It's like, oh, of course that makes sense. Now that
Mm,
I've released the chokehold around my neck, that fear factor, or I've released the angst or the sadness or the anxiety or the sometimes it can even be linked to self-hatred. It can be linked to unworthiness. It can be linked to generational trauma passed into your cells of worry about finances that really has nothing to do with you. It's something you inherited, and that's continuously bubbling out of you, and it needs to be cleared, clean and cleared out of your cell memory, right? And once that is dealt with, then you rise above the fray and you're like, you know what? It's not that bad. I don't fear this anymore. And the minute we stop fearing that, there's a surplus. See, money never runs out. Money never runs out. There's a continuous surplus of it. It never runs out. It's not like there's only a finite amount of it. It can't, because money is energy. Energy never dies. So based on that, right? If we just go based on physics, it's continuously replenishing. The question is if we have blocks around us that keep it at distance from us, and if we have chaos, fear, angst, sadness, worry, all these angst issues around us in the realm of that, the minute we release that, raise our frequency, you know what, we stop worrying.
mm,
We stop worrying. There was a gentleman who was dealing with unemployment because they're doing a lot of, layoffs lately, and they like to do those right around the holiday season. Yes, they do. And it's like, I know I got laid off. It sucks. Wrong timing, but I can handle this.
mm,
Kid you not shortly after that, was probably less than 2 weeks, he was offered another job
mm.
in a climate where it can take longer to, procure employment, especially with everything that's been going on lately. But what I'm trying to say is it's also his energy. He wasn't down in the dumps. He didn't feel like a victim. He felt like a victor. And what happens is 528 makes you feel like a victor. And when we come from the realm of victorship, right? Our energy changes. We start inviting all possibilities into our lives, any possibility into our lives. The unimaginable becomes imaginable. The things that would take XYZ amount of time to happen start to manifest in real time exactly at the moment we need it to happen,
Mm.
right? Because we no longer, because see, what happens is with these low frequency, do you know that puts us, it basically puts us in a box of victimhood.
Yes.
Low frequencies. It makes us a victim to everything. Health, circumstance, relationship, debt, stressors, worry, everything and anything. 528 takes us to victorship. And this is a complete different state of being, of living, and of thinking.
Mm.
It's another realm.
Yeah, very cool. So a couple follow-up questions to that.
Yes,
One, someone asked, what is required to sustain this frequency? Is it possible to sustain it once you
yes,
get to,
yes, it is.
yeah.
It is possible to sustain it. Just like, for example, if I were to buy you an electric car, and I say, here's the charger, but I'm going to charge it for you the first 3, 4 times, right? But then you'll walk away knowing how to recharge that, right? You're going to know where to go and plug it in to recharge your electric vehicle, right?
Yeah.
Same way.
Yeah, cool. And so my question is then, like, how fast can it happen? Like, if we've been like at this space of, 100, and kind of running there, 500 sounds really high. Like,
It
how
does. But at
fast?
the same time, each person responds to it at different moments in time. I've had everything from people feeling it within 60 seconds, some took several hours, and some took longer, depending on at what level they've been vibrating for how long. If somebody's been at -55, we want to get him at least to a 20, a 50, right? To start working. We have to get him out of the negative zone. If somebody's been operating at 100, it can relatively happen quite quickly. So it is unique to each and every person. It's not like in 30 seconds you're going to feel this. However, you will. The energy finds you where you need to be, and it
Mm,
heals you at the rate your body and mind and spirit can handle. Because this healing is not forced healing, it's transformative healing. And I cannot force change, I facilitate change, right?
mm.
If I were to force something, it would blow up. Just like if I take if I take a high wattage and I plug it into the wall and it's the wrong wattage system, let's say if I go with an American hair dryer to Europe and I try to plug it into the wall, it'll blow up, right? Because I'm forcing it. It's not the right, you
Right.
know, conduit for the electrical charge, and I will blow up the hair dryer. If I come with the correct one and I put it into the correct plug, it will start recharging. You see, it's the same way with our bodies. It's the same way with our minds. And that energy will meet you at where you are most comfortable at and where healing happens. Now, for some people, it can happen very, very quickly. I've had case in point, a gentleman who was, what was it? Years and years stuck in one way. He had transformative shift within 2-3 weeks. He was stuck in years. And this was a military man, by the way. So you can just imagine the training, hardcore training. I mean, Navy SEAL
Right.
type of thing. Within a couple of weeks, and that's amazing, you know. Then you have other people who have been working on themselves already, and they just need that little boost, and they feel it within the first hour. Like I said,
Yeah.
it's so unique to you and you alone, but you will experience it. You will experience it.
Yeah. All right, good. So Marion, this is a great question. I kind of had a spin off of this. So Marion's asking, what if it's ancestral energies? Do we need to know where did these low
No,
limiting frequencies come
no,
from?
not at all. Not
Yeah.
at all. For example, do you know from what side of the family you inherited your red curly hair? I mean,
Mhm.
maybe somebody will tell you from a great aunt, but you don't need to know the exact person on what side of the family, how many generations back. You just don't need to. Because you know why? Because your DNA has that memory. You don't need to be worried about that.
And then-
The nucleus in your cell, in every single human cell, has that memory already in it. You don't need to worry about that. You don't need to become now your own scientist. There's no need to. What you do need to do is become your own healer, not your
yeah.
scientist. Because what happens is if we do that, we then go down the rabbit hole. And we can spend years and years and years going down the rabbit hole, answering the questions of why, if, and when, as opposed to how to. How to, right?
Mm, love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, love that. And so I'm assuming it's the same as well for your own personal blocks. Like you don't need to know what
No.
the block is from preventing your health, the cells of your health, your your health, to be healthy.
Hmm.
Um, kind of things. You don't need to know that
No.
information. Yeah, it just does it. And I love that you said that years and years and years because so I have a social work degree. That's what I went to school for,
Yeah.
and I worked in mental health for years.
Yeah.
Um, and so it's definitely like one of those things, like the analyzing of people, of things, of why. And so I've always found myself analyzing my life, right? Like, why do I do this? Where did it come from? Like all of those things. So, and
Doesn't
you,
matter. I tell people all the time who come to me like that exactly, and I say, well, you're not here getting a PhD dissertation on this.
right.
First, we have to take our human understanding and put it on the back burner. And we're going to super simplify this and make this so simple that a child can understand it. Because it's in the simplicity where healing begins. It's in the complexity where chaos, confusion, and no healing is. And the more complex and confusing something sounds, and it is, I would say the remedy is, I tell people run for the hills. It
Mm,
has to be super, super simple because that's where the healing is. Because when we look at everything and we try to simplify it at best, it's actually simple, but it requires effort, it requires work, and it requires precision. Precision is key. Precision doesn't mean that it has to be difficult. Precision doesn't mean that you have to have all the questions answered. Precision can be super simple. And this is where 528 Hertz comes in. I say this is precise. This is the precise frequency. It's super simple. We use it, we utilize it, and we go to work.
Yeah.
You know,
Very cool.
so I don't need to, know the ands, ifs, or buts. And I always say, when the question why shows up, erase it. Why did this happen to me? Who in the family? Why is this happening to me? Why do I still stay in this state of frame? Why? Remove the why. Because why will send you down the rabbit hole. Let's change the why to how can I? How
Mm.
can I? How can I transform? How can I change this? How can I feel better? How can I resolve this challenge I'm in? Right? How can I become better? How can I optimize my health and wealth? How can I, as opposed to why? And I tell this to people all the time, and it's one of the hardest things. Actually, we as intellectual beings, and the more schooling we have, the more whys we will attach to every single experience in our lives. And the whys get us in trouble, because the minute we have the whys, we start labeling. And
Yeah.
the minute we have the labels, we're down a rabbit hole.
Yeah, that's so important. Oh, I'm so happy that you said that. 'Cause that's so, I'm so, like growing up, this is totally taking us off track, and we'll get back to you guys in a minute, but I just have to share this story because the labels thing is so
Yeah.
important to me. And so, I went from social work to becoming a life coach. So I went through life coach training and all of this. And when I came back from training one weekend, I was driving home and I was like, oh my gosh, I want to create, did you ever see the movie Patch Adams?
Actually, I'm sorry, I haven't, but
Oh, okay.
okay.
So Patch Adams, he's a doctor that like he opened up this like fun, like he went into medical school and he
Yeah.
was Rob Williams played him, and he went in and he just made like laughter in the
Oh,
hospital. And
wonderful.
all the guys, the med guys hated him
Yeah,
because
of course.
he's not doing it the right way.
Of
But I
course.
was like, I want to create that for like mental health
Yes.
issues. Because
Yes.
what I had found is people get so stuck in those labels. Like this
Yes.
explains
Yes.
me who I am. Is the reason why I do what I do.
Yes.
And so you kind of get stuck and attached to that. And then it's kind of like, well, if that label's not there, then who are you?
Exactly.
So it's
Exactly.
such an interesting, and I just love that you said that because my sister and I are always like
Yeah.
talking back and forth about us and growing up and like,
Yeah.
oh, I get this from mom or dad, or this is why I do. And it's like, when you get in that why, it takes you down that rabbit hole and you just
It
kind of
is.
get there.
It's
So that
exhausting. It's exhausting. It's time consuming. And it really does
I'm
nothing to
doing
help you.
anything.
It does nothing to help you. Nothing. It does nothing to help you.
Really, really interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so Lorraine is asking when you are saying someone is at 120 or 55, how are you measuring that? If it's frequency, how do you measure that in a person? Otherwise, how do you know that it's increasing?
Just like I feel anger, fear, love, sadness, depression, this is how I feel it because I've been doing this for so long. And not only that, but the emotions. I've been dealing with these emotions for so many years and helping so many people that it's become second nature for me to be able to discern these things. It's a discernment that I have grown into over the years of doing this for so long. Let's put it that way.
And so I would imagine with us, there are ways to tell that your frequency is increasing, right? Like, because we
Oh,
can't
yes.
can't be like, oh, I'm at like 200.
You will feel it because the energy increasing, you feel it because the body will give you tangible expressions of that increase in energy. For example, any tingling, heat, pulsating, throbbing, coldness, hairs going up on the back of your neck, on your arms, sweating, pupils dilating, increased thirst, increased hunger. All of a sudden you get butterflies in your stomach. You feel like you're an inch taller, but you don't know why. Your skin starts to glow. You start to smile. You start to cry. All of these are expressions of that shift, all of them.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes so much sense. And I would love to know if you guys are feeling it because remember the energy is running
Oh,
and
it's
just like
running. It's running, right? It's been running since we got on the call, yes.
on my head right here every once in a while
Yes.
it's like There it is again. So
Yeah,
I'd love to.
I have it on my arms right here. I feel.
Yeah. All right. Marion, I see your question. So I will post the link so you have it. Yeah. Hold on.
Sometimes people just start to smile and they don't know why they're smiling. They start to laugh or they get the giggles or
Yeah.
they have tears literally coming out their eyes.
Yeah.
I was on a phone call this morning earlier. It was probably around 9:30 this morning, with a woman, and she wasn't feeling well. She was dealing with she said as cold. I said, sounds to me like flu-like symptoms, but okay. She said she wants it to be a cold, let's put it that way. And she was just miserable in the beginning of our conversation. By the end, she was laughing, and I could hear the tears coming out of her eyes. She was laughing.
Oh,
And so, that's how fast these things work.
and so that's interesting. So, you have a cold, you feel,
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
uh, is it able to shift those kind of things that fast that like all of a
So what
sudden,
happens is because it is recharging our battery, the speed at what the turnover speed of how our body is functioning and then eating up these pathogens and bacteria and virus loads is faster. Okay. So imagine putting ingredients into your that big blender for Christmas time they put in.
like, closer?
Yes, the pulsar. Now
Yeah.
imagine I put it on slow. Well, I could be standing there pulsating that cake for 20 minutes, right? But now I call in someone. She's talking to me. She says, wait, listen, this is way too low. Let's speed it up. That cake's going to be mixed in under 5 minutes and then we can bake it, right? So it speeds it up. It
Yeah.
speeds up the healing process. So I wouldn't be surprised if this lady that I had spoken to earlier this morning is not going to tell me within 48 hours that her symptoms have drastically decreased.
Yeah, that's cool. Very cool. All right. I see. Someone is saying that they are feeling it or feeling emotional, and that's saying sweaty palms, and my palms never sweat.
Yes.
Marine's saying pulsating in my body. So that's
Yes, yes, yes. Sometimes you can even feel like movement in the body in areas that you're like, what? How's this possible? Shooting up and down the legs, tingling in the ears. Your ears can turn bright red. Your lips can swell that you actually look like you got lip fillers. All sorts of things have happened. All sorts of things. Your eyes can start to twitch, right? Because that energy is going to where it needs to go to. And it knows why it's going to where it needs to go and why it's then causing that external expression of what it's happening internally as well. And in the mind as well.
very cool. So, yeah, Bobby, I saw you left there. You'll have to listen to the replay. You missed a couple good things, so listen to the replay for sure. Um, okay. So great question, Cassie. What is working incorrectly when you feel your vibrational energy raising, but there is no correlating action financially? I've been doing a lot of work, but while I've been unearthing things, there is no change financially. I believe with all my heart, the universe is abundant, so this isn't making logical sense to me.
Then it's also some unforgiveness. It can be unforgiveness towards self, unforgiveness to a person in your life that you never even thought of, or it can also be inherited. If it's not making any sense, usually 9 times out of 10, it can be inherited. When it makes no sense and you're not sure why, but you've been working on it, it's usually 9 times out of 10, it's something inherited and something you didn't even know you inherited that needs to be cleaned and cleared out.
Yeah, interesting. And so my follow-up question, Cassie, would be, oh, good. She said, but isn't
So,
it inherited an additional label?
no, is DNA, your blueprint, is cell memory a label? No, it's a fact. It's not a label. A label would be like my saying, you have this and this and this and this, right? For example, I don't know, you have depressive anxiety seasonal disorder. That's a label. A label is something created by mainstream community. When I say there is cell memory, that's a fact, right? That's a difference. That's not a label because the cell memory is that blueprint within your cell that is inherited, right?
Got it.
From both sides of the family.
Yeah. So my follow-up question, Kathy and Marion, I see both of you are resonating with this. What about because, and I'll tell you why I'm asking this after I ask it. Do you get into fear of financial issue?
Because,
Like, do you find yourself in fear? And I ask that because, I would say not even that long ago, 5 years ago, maybe, I was stuck in a place of that. Like I was from, I felt like I was doing the work. I was doing all of this stuff and I was, raising my, vibration and all of this. But when I looked at the bank account, the money wasn't there and it would set off, I would get afraid. I would be like, I don't know how I'm going to pay rent. I don't know,
yeah,
or
yeah.
mortgage. I'm going to do this, like all of those things. So it kind of like would snowball. So I think that maybe I was raising it at times, but then at other times it would drop when I would get into that fear. So I'm just curious, you guys, if you have that experience as well. All right. Her follow-up question is, so is trauma from childhood and life a label or inherited?
Well, trauma from childhood, if it's experienced, it's not label, it's a fact, something that happened, right? It's not a label, something happened, but because it happened, it writes its energetic story into your cell memory, right? And it sits there. And the question is, what do we do with it? And lots of times, these cell memories come out to play in the most inconvenient times in our lives, especially when we feel weak in an area in our lives and they come out to play. They actually torment us, point blank. And we need to come in and put it to rest. They need to be heard, they can be acknowledged, but then they need to go. You can't entertain these things for too long. The more I always tell people, we don't feed the beast, we starve the beast. Okay, so trauma in a form is a beast. So we starve it by not focusing on it. We can acknowledge it. We say, yes, this happened. Yes, this is what happened, but I'm not going to use my energy to focus on that and feed it. I'm going to focus on the things that are going to improve the quality of my life and other people's lives around us. Because we're here on earth to serve others. If we're not serving others, we're stagnating, right? And we also serve others by serving ourselves. Because when we're optimally functioning, other people not only notice this, they feel this. And when they come into our vicinity, I always tell people in life, when people leave your presence, there's only two things they're going to do. They're either going to laugh or they're going to cry. Point blank. And I sure as heck am going to live this life where people will always be leaving my presence smiling or laughing. I don't want to make people cry. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love that. All right. So they both, Marion and Cassie both followed up. Marion says, I find myself where'd it go? Stressing over the fact that despite all the work, things are not getting better. I'm still having to literally count pennies and calculate how much I spend. I would really like to make more than I need. It's exhausting just getting by.
Many people have shared that with me. Many people, especially with inflation over the past several years, almost 40%, all sorts of things happening, many people are struggling with this. I have yet to meet one person who hasn't been struggling at one point in their life, point blank, right? And I'm speaking personally as well, If you all knew the amount of student loans I have on my shoulders, probably some people would fall to the floor and collapse in disbelief, right? But the question is not how actually, you do have the power. The power is in how you react to that. That's where your power lies in, and your thoughts about that reaction. Because, for example, if I'm continuously going from a state of I don't have enough, you keep on repeating that, you won't have enough, because that energy is being created. If you start, even if you don't have enough, and you start from the perspective of I have more than enough, guess what? you will start to notice things will rapidly change within your environment very quickly. Very quickly. Point and blank, I would go through periods of time where I look into my wallet and there was nothing in there. Literally nothing, that I didn't even have enough to give offerings to homeless people on the street, or when I would go, to places where they were asking for donations, I'd look and I'd be like, oh shoot, I have nothing in here, right? Then I changed my thoughts about it. I said, no, I have more than enough. And all of a sudden, somebody would send me a card, thank you card, and insert money out of the blue. And I started carrying that with me in my wallet. And then I would always bless someone. I wouldn't keep it for myself. I blessed someone. The minute I started paying it forward, literally paying it forward energetically, I always had enough in my wallet. It changed. It changed. Because I realized, like I said, money does not come from me, it comes through me. It does not come from me, it comes through me. And money is not something you're going to take with you to the grave. It is only a means to an end, and it's energy. It's energy, right? It's energy that's continuously transforming. And with this energy, we're given a responsibility too, right? It's not only to pay our bills, it's also to bless others, even if it's $1 or $2, whatever. And the thing I discovered the most is when I gave, when I didn't have, when I blessed others with that energy of love, right? All of a sudden, 24, 48 hours later, 72 hours later, out of nowhere, this money was coming through. Out of nowhere. When I didn't have and I gave, not when I had. It doesn't matter that you give when you have. It matters that you give and you're grateful for what you have, and you come from the perspective of, I have more than enough. Then all of a sudden, your vibrational energy has gone from 0 to 528. Point blank. And that's only in the realm of finances. Now let's transfer that into the realm of health, relationships, employment, all these other things. It's all translatable, all of it. Right?
Yeah. It can impact everything.
Everything.
Marion wrote here, and I think that there's a reframe here, and I would love to hear your reframe on this, Lydia. But she wrote, I'm manifesting people helping and money coming in other forms, but I would like to have that extra money to be my salary number.
Okay, so here's the thing. If we have a specific amount, or we force the specific amount, who's not to say we're under that, what we would have gotten if we were to leave it open? You see, when we, one thing is having a bucket list, and one thing is having a vision. Another thing is just being open. And when we're open to love, 528, healing, transformation, more than enough, because 528 is more than enough, more than enough, more than I need, right? More than I need. You will be astounded. And not only are you going to get that, but you're going to get so much more, So I personally do not like to put specific numbers when it comes to things like that, because you are actually putting limits on yourself. You are actually limiting yourself. And this is going to be counterintuitive to what many of you have learned or been told. Okay, it will be.
And numbers, as well as, I would think, how it comes in.
Yes.
Limits on how it comes in.
Exactly.
So, it's a blessing regardless, Marianne. So yes, yeah, awesome. I affirm, Cassie says, abundance flows like a river in my life. Cassie also asked then, so do you believe listening to crystal bowls at 528 Hertz could help?
Sure, sound therapy is very helpful. It is, but like I say, that's a tool. It's very helpful for you to daily charge your battery. But it's a beginning. It's a beginning. It's a stepping stone. Let's put it that way. It's a tool, right? But it's good.
Yeah, good. All right, so we have lots of hands raised, Lydia, and you're going to do something fun with callers. So you want to explain what you're going to do?
So let's go ahead and see Ever would like to ask a question, let's say from 0 to 5, 0 being not optimal, 5 being optimal, how or in what area of your life would my quantum shift 528 help you? And if it can help you, and how can we move the level of your frequency, right? So 0 being not helpful at all, 5 being incredibly helpful. Does that sound good, Gretchen?
Yep. Sounds good to me. So, all right. So, Kathy, you are first in line. Would you be able to unmute, Kathy? Oh, Kathy, are you there? Oh,
Yeah, I'm sorry. I had to run over to the other thing. So what, I'm sorry, what did she just say? We're supposed to,
go ahead, Lydia. I'll let you explain and she can
I'm sorry.
talking. No,
From 0 to 5, 0 being the lowest, 5 being the highest, where do you feel that your frequency is lacking? What area of your life? And do I feel from 0, meaning not helpful at all, or 5, incredibly helpful? At what level do I think that my program, the Quantum Shift 528, would be of value to you?
My health and maybe well, the health is a little bit of the physical health for a while now, but I know it has to do tied in with the emotions with my like immediate family.
Okay. All right. So in terms of that, just knowing just bare bones, obviously 520, I think would have incredibly healing effects on you. So from 0 to 5, I think it would be a 5, meaning that it would be incredibly valuable to you because the 528 would start to heal the DNA in your cells. It would start to heal interpersonal relationships within your body because it is, and within your family because it is the love frequency. And the love frequency has positive effects on our biological system, but it also resonates at the core of all things and restores harmony in the body and interpersonal relationships because it is an expression of love. So I think it would be incredibly valuable.
I understand that. Yeah, I totally resonate with that.
Yeah. I hope that answered your question.
Yes, yes. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
wonderful.
Thank you.
right. Next in line is Amy. Hello, Amy.
Hi there.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Thank you so much. I think, I mean, obviously, I think it would help a lot to have this kind of boost. I feel like I've had a lot of help this way lately, so I've been feeling, I'd say, very good in comparison to past years. I have not seen the difference come out in daily life yet, and I've certainly felt, the effects of just say trauma and stress in my health, although my health in general is okay right now still. Like nothing keeps me from living daily life. But does that answer your question?
So in terms of your health, this will really boost it up. This is like basically supercharging your body, and with this frequency, the body will heal on levels you didn't even think you needed healing on.
Right.
Does that make sense? Because see,
Okay.
one thing is what we think. We think, okay, I need, for example, I need healing in my hormonal level. I need healing in my stress level, right? But what if you really need healing in your circulatory level? What if you need healing on an inherited generational traumatic level that you're not even, thinking about, or it's on a subconscious level? Well, the beauty of 528 is it does not discriminate and it goes to all levels.
Right.
From 0 to 5, Likewise, I think it would be incredibly helpful. So you would be at a 5, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Or, yeah,
Sure.
wonderful.
Right.
But thank you for asking that question. Yeah.
Yeah. I did wonder, I mean, I'm sure, sure it helps everything, obviously, but
Yeah.
was thinking recently, for me and my son both, executive function, like in the brain, like things that are seem to be a struggle that just don't make sense to be a struggle.
Yes.
Is that something that this would?
Yeah. So here's the thing, because it affects our thoughts and our emotions and our circulation and our hormones, these brain fogs, right?
Yeah.
Or these intellectual stupors or delays, they're supercharged, which means that there's I call it brain plaque, for lack of a better word. You know, plaque like we get on our teeth and we have to go
Right.
every 6 months to the dentist. Okay. So lots of times, and I'm actually noticing this a lot in children, and I'm actually noticing this a lot in boys as well. Very interesting enough.
Yeah.
Under the age of 16, 13 to 16 especially, they're showing this brain plaque, the stagnation, where simple things or just things that would be so common and easy is such a struggle because there's a stagnation. There's this energetic stagnation on a physiological level and on an energetic level.
Right.
And boys, and I will be honest, boys are actually, I find them to be, this is me personally, super, super sensitive, more so than girls.
Yeah.
This is from my practice. And they need that help even more. And I find it incredibly, they're so receptive. I have 2 boys, right? So I know when I see that lull, that brain plaque, energetically they're off, we gotta go to work. Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Awesome. Thank you.
Awesome, thank you.
Thank you.
All righty. Marion, you are next in line, so I'll let you ask the question you just typed in too.
Thank you, Gretchen.
You're welcome.
So I was just wondering, when we boost ourselves, normally with different healing modalities, etc., the theme is that if we boost ourselves, we also help to heal our family, people who came before us, who might not even be here anymore, who have passed over. With this work, will it also sort of like unravel and start healing our immediate family, or would this now?
So because you are healing with 528, anybody that comes into contact with you or shares your genetic DNA with you starts to heal as well. I had a lady, it was very interesting. She came to me for weight loss, but she was a diabetic. And 20, 30 years, no go, no one could help her with weight loss. And then she did my program, one of my programs. She started losing weight. But then she wrote me a testimonial. She said, Lydia, you won't believe it. My mother, who is wheelchair bound and a diabetic, and I inherited her diabetes, who was like in her 80s, she was with me side by side doing your program, and her blood sugars went down and she lost weight simultaneously while the daughter was doing the program. Do you see?
Yeah.
So, yes.
So I guess I must have inherited that weight from my dad then.
So definitely, yes.
Because my
Yes.
mom is
So
super
yes, weight can be inherited, but we have to remember, weight is only a manifestation, right?
Yeah.
Weight is a manifestation of an emotion which has an energetic component to it, a frequency to it underneath it that needs to be raised, that needs to be cleaned, cleared, and transformed, right? Yeah.
Thanks. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gretchen.
Marion, how's the kitty?
I started giving him probiotics yesterday, after all the energy work, and that seems to have done something now. Finally, like by this
Oh, I
evening.
do want to mention,
Yeah.
Actually, now that you mentioned about animals, it's amazing how receptive animals are to 528. I had super depressed dogs with their owners listening to 528 and doing my programs and my healing sessions, and all of a sudden they came out of depressions.
Wow, that's very cool.
Mm.
Awesome, Marion, on the probiotic too. I know you've been
Yeah.
working hard, so good job.
Yes. Thank you.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
Good. All right. Next up, Rosemary. You are up.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Can you hear me?
Yes, welcome, Rosemary.
Okay, and Gretchen, I just wanted to say I like your new hairdo, and you also look slimmer. You're just radiating. You're looking so beautiful.
Oh,
Okay.
thank you, Rosemary. Received that compliment. Thank you.
Okay, so Lydia, I would say I want to know, let's see, where do I feel on financial abundance? Where am I? Will the program help?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because, like I said, when we're in a state of stress or fear, right, we're not vibrating a 528 frequency because we're living in a state of flight, fright, or freeze. We're not thriving, right? We're just surviving. So, absolutely, it would, if we're at a 20, it's going to increase you to 528, and then things start to change around you. We cannot stay at a low frequency and expect things to change around us, even if our thoughts and wishes are well. It just doesn't happen, right? We have to match that frequency, and then the transformation happens. So definitely, would my program help you? Definitely, you would be at a 5 with that. Yeah. I hope that answered your question.
Do you know where I'm at right now?
At a 0.
Oh, no.
I'm sorry.
And I just want to say I've taken a couple of your programs in the past and I've totally enjoyed them.
Oh, lovely. Thank you so much, Rosemary. So I hope you take this one too, but let's get you out of that 0.
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Rosemary.
Thank you.
So to piggyback off what Rosemary just said with some of your other programs, you and I were talking before this started, and we were talking about, and we're going to talk about the program here in a minute, and then we'll get back to callers, but you were talking about how easy this is,
Yes.
like, and how sometimes when we're stuck in a low frequency, it's hard to make ourselves go through the so like,
Yeah.
I know personally I have a hard time sometimes doing that, going through a program. So I want you just to talk a little bit about that, since Rosemary brought up some of your other programs and how raising your frequency to 528 can actually help with other things that you may have purchased or gone through before.
Right. So this is going to be completely different. So this is the first time I'm offering this style. Is basically, this is done for you healing. Basically, as an end of the year incentive, I said, what can I offer my fellow students, my fellow clients, my fellow health seekers? And I decided, as a way of paying it forward, I'm going to do the work for you. So all you have to do is basically show up in real time, and I'm going to energetically do remote quantum healing with 528 Hertz and help supercharge you, super boost you, so that we can get those frequencies up to 528, so that these healing transformations not only begin, that they continue, and that they stay with you. Okay. And so this is a first of its kind program that I'm offering. Usually I only offer this to my VIP clients that I've worked for years, that one-on-one, but now I've decided to open this up to this platform and this group in this format.
And we're so thankful that you have. So I'm going to share the page here. You guys, I put the link in there to callers. after we go through this. But quantum shift 528. 528 Hertz, real time healing to quickly and effortlessly clear emotional blocks, heal generational trauma, and repair your cells. No extra effort required. Just show up and feel the shift. And as Lidija said, this is very different. If you've taken programs from her before, this is very different than what she has offered us before. And she explained why she felt that we all needed someone to do this for us. So then we can kind of go deeper into learning how to do it for ourselves and getting to that place once you get to that higher frequency level. So in this, let's see, there are 3 live group sessions. So what happens on these sessions, Lidija?
So with each session, you will be coming in and I will be having you live during the Zoom call, and I will be running you through a specific somatic mind-body release, healing, restoration, and each week will build upon the week before. So as we go along week to week to week, it's going to become stronger, more precise, more intense. We're going to be peeling you like an orange, layer by layer by layer, and we're going to the root core so that we can heal your DNA, both energetically and physically, so that then this transformation will not only start, but it will stick, right? And all you have to do is show up, and I will guide you through the whole time with a specific technique where I am doing all the work remotely in real time, and you will be feeling the effects with my guided session.
Awesome. And so if you can't be there live, will they also?
So here's the great part. If you cannot be live there, even though I do encourage everyone to be live, because something so healing happens when it is live compared to recording. Recording still works, obviously, because the energy is there, never dies. But when we create this, I call it the sphere of healing simultaneously, everything gets amplified. Does that make sense?
Sure.
It's kind of like going to a concert live and hearing it and then listening to the recording. You still hear the music, you still feel it, but it's different when you're there live. But if you are unable to attend live for whatever reason, a recording will be made available afterwards so that those of you who were not able to attend live can listen to the recording, still reap the benefits. But I do encourage you to join live because the experience is different. It is different.
Love that. And I just want to point this out to you guys. There's no messing around with this one. It starts on the 14th. So
Yes.
you're not waiting.
No, I'm not waiting. This starts immediately. It starts this Saturday, right?
Yes, this Saturday. So you can dive right into these frequencies right away. And so my follow-up question, Lidija, is then once you take them through this process, is this something they need to go back and listen to again, or do they have techniques to go away with, quickly shifting their frequency, all the time in real time?
So they can listen to the recordings again afterwards if they choose to. But what's going to happen is you're going to walk away and your body's going to have the inherited new information in it already, and it's going to work for you.
Okay. Cool. Very cool. All right. And then you have a book that you've written, Jump into Health in 21 Days, the Atlas Method. So that is a bonus. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Sure. So many times people say, well, I want to get, especially, one of the biggest New Year's resolutions is I want to get healthier. I say, forget New Year's, let's start in December. Forget New Year's, let's start now, and let's have a head up over everyone, let's beat everyone to their New Year's resolution. We'll do it now. And it's basically, many people ask me, well, how do I jump into, health and wellness effortlessly, simply? And so I wrote Jump into Health here almost a decade ago. In 21 days, my method, where anybody who tries to live healthily but are not sure which way to start, how to go about it. This is basically your blueprint, your easy go-to guide of how to do it effortlessly in 21 days without much stress. And it's my blueprint of the method that I'm very known for, health style change, and it's my gift to you for joining me in this Quantum 528 shift, which I think is just a great foundation for you to also have in terms of having something tangible you can go through and read at your own leisure to kind of get you into of jumping into health in a specific amount of time, which doesn't require too much effort on your part.
Love that. All right, guys. And there's also a limited time bonus. So this week, I wouldn't wait until Sunday, though. If you're joining, I would join before
Yes.
Saturday morning. So
Before
you can
Saturday, definitely. Yeah.
first call. But it's 30-day remote energy healing. So that is available this week. So talk a little bit about this remote healing that you
So the
offer.
remote healing is another paying it forward incentive on my part, where what you have been receiving now during this call, you will continuously receive for the next 30 days for all of those people who do sign up. And this is going to be kind of your, I would say, your assistant on the side, helping you through the next 30 days, which will actually carry us into January 11th.
Oh,
Which is
yeah.
phenomenal because it's going to carry you through all the holidays, all the great food you're going to be exposed to, all the stressors you're going to be exposed to into the new year, past your New Year's resolution, and it's going to help support you. And it's just going to help facilitate you during this time without you having to do anything. I'm doing all the work.
Love that. Very good. All right, guys. So right now, it is $197 for this offer. So that's available this week. I also want to point out, and Liddy can then talk about, you click on the buy button. There are some add-ons. So the Atlas Pain Code program is going to be added on here, so you can add that. But you also have this VIP Quantum Renewal. So can you talk about what that is?
Yeah, so this is first time I'm offering this as well. Many people have come to me and said, well, Lydia, you know what? I just don't have the time. Can you do this for me? And I was thinking, well, you know what? This would be very interesting. I can do this for you, but I need details. So what I'm offering as an add-on is if you have a specific issue that's been there for a long time, it could be acute or chronic in any area of your life, a challenge that you really want help. You need the help. You need the help and you want that extra amplification. All you need to do, send me your full name and the issue in detail. And I am going to work on it for the next month, not the next hour, not the next week, the next 30 days. I haven't even offered this to my VIP clients. Okay. I usually work because of my schedule and my lack of time. I usually give them a week, 2 at max. I'm offering you 30 days of my working on your specific issue. Like I said, you will only email me with your name and the detailed issue, and I will then work on that issue for you remotely.
Love that. Very, very good. Awesome. So guys, here's the link again. It's lifereawaken.com/Lydia 528. Again, lifereawaken.com/LIDIJA 528. You can click on the link or you can copy and paste it. We have one more hand raised, so let's talk to the last caller of the day. And it says beloved superstar. So I'm anxious to hear who you are, beloved superstar.
Hi, how are you? Thank you so much for taking my call.
You're welcome. Welcome. What is your name?
Beloved superstar. That's my legal name.
Love it. Love it. Well, welcome. Glad to have you here.
Thank you. And thank you so much for hosting this wonderful program. And thank you, Lydia. My question is for Lydia, if you can tell, I've been suffering, I shall say, but having sadness, deep sadness. And my question is, can you read my vibration right now and let me know what frequency I am at? I've been working at it, or healing or releasing, as we can say it. But go ahead.
So from 0 to 5, 0 being very, very low, 5 being very high, you are at a 0. And 0 to 0.5 at best. And you're at 0.5 when you do work on it, but it drops to 0. because there's energetic chaos right here in the lung area.
Oh, I see.
And the thing is, it could be, you know, there's three things it can be. It really doesn't matter what it is. The focus should be on taking care of it and cleaning it out. Does that make sense?
Yes. And so you said there might be three things, but in the sense of the program, will this program clear it up? And would that then allow me to, how is it that I remain at a vibration of 527 and higher after being a part of your program?
Well, the program will help you come in and clean and clear that out and raise it from a 0. Anything, and we want anything higher than a 0, right? We don't want to go into the negatives. So obviously it's going to start cleaning and clearing you and moving you up and moving you up. And during those live calls, you will be in a state of 528. How you will maintain it, that also depends on how you will, how your body will receive this healing energy. And if you will use the technique or the tools that I will share with all of you, you know, during these sessions of how to maintain that. Does that make sense?
Yes. So during these sessions, you do share tools that we can use then afterwards forever.
That is in the final. Yeah, I usually share that in the final session, because there's I don't do that in the first two, because first we have to get you above, you know, there's no sense, and you know, you wouldn't understand what to do with it. In the final session, I think session 3 will be in this regard. I'm going to share a tool with you. Actually, it's 2 tools that I have in the Atlas Pain Code method that will help you to maintain this frequency and vibration on your own. Does that make sense?
It does. It makes sense. Thank you. And so once we sign up, we get the email where we can send you the specific request.
Yeah, it's just my email, dratlas@almaholistichealth.com. You're going to send it directly to me with your specific request. And when you all sign up, the minute I receive your email with your full name and your details, that is the day that you start receiving that healing immediately. It's not going to happen next week. It's not going to happen Saturday. So for all of you who sign up today, it starts today. For all of you that sign up tomorrow, it starts tomorrow. But I do recommend you all sign up as soon as possible, because our first live session is Saturday, and I want to get you all, if you're, you know, vibrating in that 0 realm already, I want to bump you up so that we're going to start off on a strong note Saturday already. Does that make sense?
It makes sense. So just for my clarity, once I sign up, the email that you send me confirming that I sign up is the same email where I send you the specific request.
When you sign up, you'll get a follow-up email that gives you all the details of where you would send that to then with Lydia. So all of that with the package, like the program details, you'll get all that.
Okay, thank you so much, Gretchen, and thank you so much, Lydia.
Thank you. I hope to see you inside the program.
Yes, me too.
Yes. Gretchen, I did want to mention one thing. Also, all of you, the holidays are fast approaching, and I recommend you, if there's a family member that is struggling and that you want to gift this program to them, you know, how about paying it forward and giving this as a gift to one of your family members or a friend that's very close to you, and you think this would be a fantastic holiday, New Year's gift? You know, why not? Invest in your family, invest in your friends.
Awesome. I love that. I didn't even think of that. So that's a great idea.
Yes.
Amy says, awesome idea. So very good. So I'm wondering if I had a couple people ask if you have a little group process or something that you can take us through today, or something, you know, that we can, like a healing process or something to kind of bump everybody up just so they can kind of feel it.
Well, you've been already live for 528 Hertz the whole time. So anything more than that would require more time. We can't do it in under a couple of minutes. Do you know what I mean? Because we've been live for 528. In terms of bumping it up, we could do a short exercise for 3 minutes possibly, but it's not going to give it the focus that for 528, because it requires a little time. Do you know?
Yeah, I don't think 528, but just so I think so that they can experience your, like how the group call might be, like get a little taste. You know what I mean?
Okay. Okay. Alrighty. Let's
Sorry
do
to put you on the
one.
spot.
Yeah, yeah, well, yeah. No, I'm trying to think what would be because of our time limitation, let me think of what would be the easiest one. Let's go ahead and let's do a stress one. Let's do and hold on a second, bear with me. Let's do a quick stress relief exercise, okay? And we're gonna do this in real time. And yeah, let's do it together. Let's go ahead. So I'm going to ask all of you to go ahead, find yourself in a comfortable position. And I want you to rotate your shoulders back. We're going to rotate them 7 times. And we're just going to unlock everything that's been bearing weight down on us. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're going to take a deep breath in through our noses. We're going to hold for the count of 5. We're going to exhale through our mouth so we can hear it. We take another deep breath in through our noses. Hold for the count of 5. And we're going to exhale out of our mouths. And a third time, in through our noses. Hold for the count of 5. And exhale so we can audibly hear it. And this should have taken you now into a state of relaxing, a state of calm, and a state of quiet. Now I want you to close your eyes. Go ahead and close your eyes. And in your hands that are in your palm, in your lap, your palms, I want you to squeeze your hands in and out. Just squeeze them. We're going to squeeze them 7 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And any issue, any stressor that is in your life right now, I want you to envision it in your palms. And I want you to squeeze on it as tight as you can to the point where you want to energetically just crumble it like a cookie, that you just have crumbs of that stressor in your life, okay? I want you to hold on to that. And now you're going to repeat after me out loud. I command my mind, body, spirit, and soul to be free of all stress and anxiety now. And you're going to take your hands that are squeezing that stressor and you're going to throw it to the floor with your hands wide open. Throw it to the floor with your hands wide open. Throw it to the floor with your hands wide open. Okay. We're going to take a deep breath in through our noses. Hold for the count of 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale. We're going to take our hands. We're going to rub them. And you're going to rub them up and down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 3 rounds. 2 more rounds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1 more round. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're going to take our hands. We're going to take them apart close by. Take them apart until you feel warmth and tingling. Warmth and tingling. Warmth and tingling. And we're going to go over our faces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now we're going to take our 3 fingers and we're going to tap between our eyebrows. We're going to tap 21 times. And we are going to repeat out loud, I am free of all stress and anxiety now. I am free of all stress and anxiety now. I am free of all stress and anxiety now. We're going to take our hands to prayer position and place them over our hearts, one on top of the other. I'm going to take a deep breath in. Exhale. And you're going to repeat after me. I feel safe. I feel calm. I feel at peace. I feel safe. I feel calm. and I'm at peace. I feel safe, I'm calm, and I feel peace. And at this point, you should feel heat, tingling, just a feeling of a rush, a surge. I feel immense heat going through my body. Some people feel cold. You may feel tingling, shooting, stabbing, electrifying, warmth, a sensation of movement, but healing, calmness, peace, ease. I want you to take another deep breath in through your noses and exhale so that you can hear yourself. Take your hands, place them in your lap. We're going to rotate our shoulders back 7 more times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Good. Now you can go ahead and open your eyes. If your eyes have already been open, they can remain open. And now you can go about your day. I already feel the stress and the tension in my shoulders has already melted. You might feel lighter. You might have broken a sweat, as myself, you can see. Yes, I break sweats because when I'm working with 528 and really working and amplifying the energies, my body perspires a lot because it requires a lot of effort on my part. So I hope that was a quick run through of a stress release technique, but mind you, there's many more in-depth things that I do. This was just a quick taste of what I do.
Mandy says, wow. I was funny because when you were talking about right when we were getting ready to release it, I started coughing.
Yes.
I got like this huge cough attack.
Yes.
That's interesting.
Good. Yeah, it all comes out. Some people
Yeah.
sigh, some people cry, some people howl, literally howl, like some people just give the sigh of right?
Yeah.
Some people sing, some cough, some giggle, smile, I perspire. So, it just depends, it's just a sign. It's that we've released it, we've removed it.
Yeah, awesome. Beloved says, yes, thank you. I feel greater ease. Marion says, thank you so much for this taster. So one thing before we go, I just want to point out to all of you guys, this program is, Lidija is doing the work, but one thing about Lidija is she wants to empower all of you to become your own healer and to do this stuff on your own. So these kind of tools that she just took you through and all of this, her stuff is loaded with this kind of stuff that you can continue to use over and over and over again to help maintain your frequency and get to that point where you are self-healing. So I just want to point that out, and that she is very unique that way in what she offers. So, and I appreciate that so much, Lidija. I really do.
Thank you so much. So I hope to see as many of you as possible, because this in and of itself, it's interesting. When we heal ourselves with 528, it is contagious to people around us. And imagine one person heals and another and another and another. And when we go out into the world, this collective healing begins, and it's very empowering. And it is you paying it forward, not only to yourself, your family, your friends, society in general. I've had people who went to, one lady was telling me, she did one-on-one with me with the quantum shift. And she said she went to the grocery store and she was at checkout and the clerk was telling her, you look beautiful today. What happened to you? You're so, for lack of a better word, loving, right?
Yeah.
Loving, that's the word he used. And we had just finished the 528 quantum shift. So what I'm saying is other people notice it. They feel it. They sense it. And not only that, you are investing in yourself. Give yourself a gift. It's the end of the year. You've worked hard all year long. You've worked tirelessly for your family, your friends, your job, for your employers, for your boss, for your spouses. You've worked tirelessly. Do something for yourself. Treat yourself, because this part is going to be, this program is basically where I'm doing everything for you. All you have to do is show up, have fun. Like I
Yeah.
tell people, this is enjoyable. This is the good stuff. This is the fun stuff, you know?
Yeah.
This is the stuff where we get to have fun. I mean, how is it not fun to improve yourself?
Mhm.
It's the best gift ever. Gift yourself a gift for the holidays, you know? It's the best thing ever.
Rosemary says, I look forward to it. Yes, I am in. Awesome, Rosemary. I can't wait to hear what shifts for you. All right, guys, one more time. Here's the link. You can copy and click, paste it or click on it. Otherwise, let's all show Lydia our gratitude and our love for her being here with us today and spending this time and sharing this beautiful program with us. Thank you, Lydia, so much for your everything.
Thank you so much. It was such a pleasure to have you. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you, Gretchen, for hosting as always. Gretchen is a sweetheart through and through. I'm so honored to be here with her today. And each one of you, thank you for calling in, taking your time. Thank you. I appreciate you. I love you. Thank you for taking your time, for being here with us live today. And I look forward to seeing as many of you as possible on Saturday.
Yay, Saturday.
Spend Saturday morning with me. Let's share the love. Let's feel the love. Look, we can do this together. And the more of us that are going to be united together, the better the outcomes will be. So I encourage each and every one of you, join us. Join us. Come and join us. Do not be afraid. Do not be scared. Take a leap of faith, hope, and most importantly, take a leap of love.
Love that. Love it, love it, love it. Thank you, Lydia, so much for
Thank you
being here. Can't
so
wait
much.
to hear about this journey. So excited about that. And
Yes.
thank you all for being here and sharing your energy and love with us. Really appreciate all of you.
Thank you so much, everyone. Have and see you on Saturday. Blessings to each and every one of you.
Bye-bye. Bye, everyone. Bye, Lydia.
Bye-bye.